Hey guys, August 23rd here. I just want to do a quick update on my pot lattice that I made for privacy from my neighbor when I'm sitting at the table, or my girlfriend's out with me. We have dinner sometimes on the patio. Just a bit of privacy. I don't know why the leaves are starting to yellow. I don't know. We had a heat wave that just came in that made them yellow. Maybe there wasn't enough water. I wish it had filled up a bit more, but not so bad. It's a mix of bean and morning glory again, if in case you forgot. So I got some beans I just wanted to show. Literally in the last 3 days we had some cool weather. It was down to 11 at night, and then now it's back up to like 20 overnight, 30s Celsius during the day. So yeah, yesterday was the first day of that warm front come in. There was some torrential downpour. I had to pull over on the road. I couldn't see anything. Definitely a tropical mass that we got in. So just before that, actually, before the heat came in, I think these popped. Maybe it thought it was fall or something, and it's like sped up its production. My organic beans are yellowing out a bit down here too. Two little measly beans on there, super tiny. They haven't gotten any bigger in the last few days, so I think I'll just pick them to help promote some new growth. Oh, honey, you're so pretty and shiny. Oh, Larry, you look the exact same as me. What are you talking about? No, the way you munch on them plants. I want to make some super hot, toasty, romantic love to you, honey. Okay, oh goodness, Larry. How hot exactly are we talking? Super hot. Super hot. Scorched hot. Oh, the love is real, Larry. Oh, Gordon. You're just so hairy and manly and strong. Sarah, is that you again, making all that noise? I know he's handsome, but I mean, we all look the same after all. Oh, I didn't think you'd be able to hear me from there, Carol. It's a hot one today, isn't it? Yeah, I'd say about 40, and now about 360. Ready to throw the pizza in yet? No. Get a couple another 100 degrees. Oh my goodness, what happened to them down there, honey? I smell something burning. Did you leave the toaster on? Nope. Oh. Looks like Peter smells it too. He took off. What do you say, honey? Should we stick around? No, I think it's just been a warm one. It's been a really hot heat wave. I know, but we're not near the equator, are we? Oh, we must have just been carried down by the cold front that just left the area. Who knows where we are now? All that matters is we're making some really warm, romantic love with each other. Oh no! Ah! Scorched! Scorched! 3s, 4s. Let's make babies. How many babies can we make in one night, honey? Where there's lots of green bush, There's lots of offspring. It's a booming business, isn't it, folks? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Just as booming as them charred neighbors of yours. Come out and play. Dinner time. More like s'mores time. Who wants to roast some? Who wants to roast some s'mores with me? And finally, I was able to find some stick bugs from some customers. Come on, bud. Time has come. Still haven't seen any stick bugs or praying mantises in this yard, as diverse as it is. Finally had a customer who has a ton of stick bugs. So I put a few already, and then every day that I go there, I grab a few more. Hopefully it's still alive. Come on. Anyways, I think I need 2 hands to release it. Doesn't want to come out. There we go. Don't need to be. Definitely alive. But a little bit too accustomed to plastic. Come on. You don't want the mint? Okay. Let's put them down in here. And tomato? You like tomato? No. I know it doesn't look like you, but I need you off the plastic. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. How about these flower seed? You like that? Looks a bit more like you. There you go. All right. Now eat all the pests, okay? So, I have a down tree here with 2 types of mushrooms. These ones I've never seen yet. They're like, looks like it has 2 heads, this one. Weird. They're like puffs. 2 puffs. And no ridge, no gills. It's round, like a water tank. No gills, no pores. Very interesting. Let me grab myself. Oh, and it has roots. Huh. Maybe that's just because it's growing in the moss. And I grab a bunch of these. These would be a nice texture to eat. Smooth and round. Just like that. And maybe even in a salad. I gotta look it up. I'm getting too ahead of myself. They have a nice look too, with the little brown thing. September 11 here. Sun's going down, productions, and today we remember all of the victims and affected families of the World Trade Center terrorist attacks, September 2001. Cool. Start with this. We'll start with this this bed here. As you can see, the carrots have gotten a lot bigger since my last update a couple weeks or so ago. And I just let my kale keep growing out here, but I don't think we'll be doing much with it. As you can see, not much we can do with it. The sunflower should almost be ready now. I had to do something. Looks like something has been trying to get in there. Squirrels are still always out on the prowl, but they almost took it down. So I don't know if I already covered that on my last update, but I did my best to protect so they don't climb up, or they can't climb up, or it detracts them. The bottles there detracts them from climbing up, and I tied it in hopes that it will survive a bit longer, which it did survive a lot longer because I did that. It was bent over. If I had left it that way, it probably would have been toast, but it had a little bit more time because I did this, braced it up. But you could see there's ants and bees where the crease was. I guess it was bleeding right there. So we've had a lot of bees and even the black and white, I think it's called the bald face hornet, pretty big, and it went home now for the night, but every day it's hanging out here. Maybe I'll post a picture. Anyway, just experimenting. Not many sunflowers at all, but be nice to finally, it looks like I'll be finally gonna be able to taste some sunflowers from the yard. Sunflower seeds from the yard this year. Last year they took off with the whole head of the sunflower, the squirrels in the area. So this year the whole stem, they won't really be able to get in here because it's really really pointy. I've bled a few times touching the points of the screen. It's a window screen, a steel window screen, not plastic or vinyl or whatever other material they make them with. So they can't really, even if they bring it down, like, good luck trying to get it out of there. That's that. So I'm going to share that strategy with everybody who has squirrel sunflower problems, and I will definitely do that, more of that in the future. I think it's a good idea to prevent mold. It can still dry out, bugs could still get in to pollinate. Can start doing it pretty early on in the stage. So you see a beautiful vine there, I think of Roma, finally ripening. We finally started eating tomatoes just about a week ago, 10 days ago. Yeah, finally. Not enough sun in the yard here, and I think that also speaks to why we still don't see any butternut squash whatsoever. Complete waste of my time. Same with on the other side, the other bed down there. We'll see in a minute. This potato has probably survived the slugs and bugs best among of them all. At the beginning of this update, or earlier on in this vlog, you saw me pulling out one of the potatoes of one of the dead potato plants, and that yielded 7 organic yellow potatoes for 1 yellow potato that I originally planted. And here we have a couple failed collie plants. with 2 or 3 babies growing on the side. Very nice. And an eaten up organic basil. Would have done much better in a pot. I think I started that in my lattice pot, and it was just not enough room in there for it. So maybe I'll put it. I have a few now anyway. Not really too desperate for basil, but we'll see. Maybe I'll transfer it back to a pot. This is just a overgrowing broccoli that I thought was kale, and this looks like a kale. Oh, sorry, cauli. I tried to tie up those 2 cauliflower in hopes that they will make some sort of flower. I've given them all summer to flower, and still no flower. So we'll see if bundling them up a bit will do anything. I let my tomatoes, I like letting them get like 3 feet tall just until they start tipping over. I like to I gotta tie this one again. I like to let them fight to, you know, to be strong, to grow up nice and strong, so that their seeds will also be strong, and the people who eat their fruits will also, actually, yeah, I guess the fruit will be stronger. I'm not exactly sure. I just feel that would make a difference with the strength building nutrition in the tomatoes. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to leave it a bit longer, you know. Like this one fell over now, so I'll put it up, and really it didn't really lose out much by falling over for a couple days. I know it's not ideal because you don't really know what impact it's gonna have at the base, so you typically try to avoid it. I just neglected my plants for the last few days, so I missed the time that it got heavy to the point where it flopped over. But normally I can see once they start tipping and getting there, I can know that it's a tipping point and run to the rescue and tie them up. And then here we have some more tomatoes that are finally almost ready, hopefully the next couple days. I noticed what I did about a week ago, or maybe more than that, about 2 weeks ago now. My relative told me to cut the leaves off of from covering the sun on the tomatoes. So I made room for that. I cut off a lot of the leaves that were blocking, and I didn't notice an immediate change. It was still pretty hot, but the last week or so has been pretty cold, down to recently, the last couple of days, even it's gone down to about 7 degrees overnight. So I noticed, not so much because of the 7 degree, but in the last week or so we've had pretty cool conditions with clouds as well, so not as much sun as before. And it seems like, yeah, that's what they wanted, was that break from the heat, not so much the sun, the room for sun that I gave them. We've eaten a lot of cherry tomatoes off of here. They've been really good, and you'll notice the water bottles on the corn. Good to see that it's growing. Hopefully there's a bee hiding in there sleeping. Hopefully they're not going to mold. So that's why I put these over top, is because I've had to try to self-pollinate. I don't know if it was successful at all, but I kind of had no choice because the slugs ate all the hairs. So I was a bit worried they weren't going to pollinate enough. The slugs, bugger slugs. So you want to keep these off the ground because the slugs will just continue to do damage, I'm pretty sure. So this seems to be working, this water bottle. I loosened the top so that some air could still escape heat from the top. I also tried this tape technique so that the water can't get in, but the air can still dry up in there, and that's held on nice. This is the strong box tape, clear box tape. So I mean, yeah, this corn is grown, this one hasn't, so you know, it's all gonna be a matter of opening up to see. Sometimes they're just smaller and the kernels are all there, but they're smaller. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll give them a bit more time to grow. Something like this, you know, that hasn't grown at all. So I don't know, this stalk is also turned color. So I'm under the impression that it's just done. Didn't make it for whatever reason. Maybe too much fertilizer. But and one bottle fall off here. So because I took the hairs off of the tips and to open up the tips and put in some of the pollen from the top part, I couldn't close them back up enough after to make sure they were totally waterproof. So that made me worry about the mold and made me think of that tape and bottle idea. So this is an example of when I would finally start staking. Can't believe it's September 11 and it's only 3 feet tall. We're literally getting two tomatoes off of this plant. Better than nothing. All right, bunch more tomatoes here. I gotta actually snip the tips of these because they're getting too ambitious and there's just not going to be enough time for them all to mature. See, look how high that tomato there is. Thin, but just to give an idea, a lot of people are so quick to start staking, like especially at this stage, at this height, which is about a foot. That's almost 3 feet, and it's standing up on its own. So I think there's a difference. You know, it's kind of like, why would humans be strong? I think every organism that has structure, you know, it's not a fish, it doesn't have bones, but it doesn't have scales or you know, it's not like a worm either. It's trying to stand up. We should let it try to stand, right? It's like a baby trying to crawl. We don't help it try to crawl, we help it try to stand and walk. So, you know, for it to be stronger and guess there's other reasons for it, but you get my point. So this one I think I will be digging up soon because they're almost done. Once all the leaves are gone, then there's no sense in leaving them in the ground. They'll just start going into seed or dormant over winter, whatever comes first, but probably seed, since this might not last much longer, so I'll have to keep my eye on it. And I picked the potatoes I picked today had no leaves on them already for about a week, and they were perfectly healthy. Like, potatoes are very hardy, and I think because it seems there's less pests in at least my soil, that I don't have to worry so much to leave them in there. Finally getting some cucumbers, albeit really slowly. But you see, this one definitely is much happier. This cucumber became much happier and started producing this guy. After all those flowers that didn't pop out any cucumber, any fruit, once I let it turn the corner to get early morning exposure, it became happier and started producing that fruit. So hopefully it will continue. Oh, looks like we got some more. Yeah, it'll keep producing because it's happier here in the sun. Finally. Okay, and the last bed here is a similar story. We've had a lot of flowers on this squash and none pushing out, like I said earlier, no butternut squash. But you notice now that it's higher up, is finally pushing out a squash. Yay! It's amazing. Yeah, there's just not enough sun here. You see, this tomato plant is about 3.5 feet, almost, say 3.5, and it's standing on its own. Mind you, it's got some of the leaves holding onto the fence, but I'd rather that than rushing to stake it up. And I'll have to pull out these potatoes as well because the stems are long gone. And this is a baby lilac that I pulled out of the ground from a customer's that was beside a bigger lilac that she had, the parent lilac, and I'm happy to see that it is budding new leaves. I did give it some good fertilizer and looks like it's going to make it. Forgot to update you on my privacy basket here of beans. Not much privacy, but a lot of seeds. Same with the one in the urn on the patio. Didn't update you yet today, but I got a lot, about the same amount. No, a bit more, because it's been growing longer and it's in more sun and bigger pot and all that. But yeah, not much plant, not much privacy for not as much as I was hoping for, not as much as I thought, but it's all good. I'm not complaining. Didn't cost me anything. I used seeds from last year and all compost and stuff. If you've been following along, you'll know. And yeah, so I wanted to show that. And oh, guess who's back? Gotta get all the harvest before Roger does. Hey, Roger? He's good. He only eats the grass in the middle of the lawn. He only eats weeds and grass. He's never in the beds, eh, Roger? He doesn't like the rose thorns that I planted there for him. Good man, Roger. Anyway, I'll head up to the front and update you on that flower bed here. I planted a bunch of sunflower seeds, but they never came up. Planted them late anyway. Didn't really take care in helping them grow up. I noticed a lot more spider webs around since I helped those baby spiders. I distributed them around the property. Unfortunately, my live squirrel trap hasn't been working very good. I've only caught 2 so far. In the first week that I bought it, which was about over a month ago. Haven't caught anything since. I'm not really paying much attention to it, but I'm still disappointed. Not as effective as I thought it would be. These squirrels are just too damn smart. Good afternoon, September 19 here. Sun's Up Productions. Beautiful bright sunny day. But unfortunately, the frost is here to stay. I'm just deciding whether or not to uncover everything again because it's going to be below 0 again tonight. Last night was the first night for us below 0, or actually it was 0 right on. So tonight I believe is going to be around the same or a bit lower. So the sun is really hot, so I just don't want the plants to burn up. It's just a big pain to be uncovering and covering. I uncovered this section because as you know, it gets the most sun. It really was heating up, and I'm contemplating whether or not I want to keep this one going at least until December by putting like a thick polytarp all around with some wood framing. I forgot what you call that kind of greenhouse, where you have the top slanted on like a 40-degree angle and you just lift up. Or 45 or 50-degree angle. I'm just contemplating. I don't know if it'll be worth it. I may just do the carrots covered until December because it's just a lot of carrots for us right now. I'm not a fan of like fresh tomatoes in November and December when the sun is gone. Basically, my desire is gone for fresh garden vegetables, but I'm still thinking because I have the kale that I haven't touched, and I'm starting to eat kale. I'm starting to do smoothies now with kale because my energy is going down, and I find it's a good way to get some fresh green intake. And I'm thinking I can also do some microgreens or some other salads on the floor there. I mean, last time I tried, they failed, but I wasn't really focused on it. Maybe if I have only one bed going, I could focus on it more and make sure it's like really efficient. I'm not sure. I'm just deciding about that. Still, I also have a couple of these cauliflower. I think cauliflower is going to do really well for the next month at least. I don't know if these are still too small, but if I do transplant them, I want to put them somewhere where I can cover them into, so that's part of what I'm thinking of cutting that for, covering that bed for, so will allow me to, there's like 3 cauliflower here. It will allow me to see those grow a bit more. because yeah, this cauliflower definitely hit a growth spurt, and I don't know, small one. I don't know if I should be, if I should put on elastic. I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to look that up so that it can kind of expand as it grows. And then we got the marigolds here doing really well still. So yeah, that I neglected a long time ago. Just gotta get rid of the plastic in screen. But my other 2 tomatoes there covered up, and then over here did my best. Nothing, yeah, it seems like either the frost didn't hit or everything survived. I don't have a crazy amount of things to cover with, and it's tough because cloth is the best, but then if it rains, it's not the best. Then your plants are going to be sitting soaked in a wet cloth until you uncover them in the morning. So I'm thinking of putting maybe some newspaper underneath the waterproof tarps around the plants to help them keep their warmth a bit. But I mean, the idea here is to not go crazy running to the store for things. You know, I was lucky to have some extra black what do you call it, weed fabric there from some customers. So this section is pretty cool. It's already out of the sun, but what's cool is that these plants might do better. They might start doing pretty well actually once leaves start falling. So if you can get through that first few weeks of frost and falling leaves, I don't know, it might be longer than that, because it's not just about frost, it's about wind as well. And I don't remember exactly how long the leaves take to start really making a noticeable, for you to start making note of thinning out trees. But we'll see. I may try to, no, I don't know. We've honestly, in the last few weeks, all our tomatoes came at once, so we like quickly overdosed. We got overwhelmed with tomatoes. So when it's time to pick the corn, I don't know if they have been very successful, but we will wait for that, pick the corn, and whatever that might be, we don't have to cover them. The cucumbers now are starting to really produce. So and the squash as well. So I'll try to cover those up, keep those kind of protected. Aside from that squash hasn't produced anything. And I'm already starting to acclimatize my little potted plants, like my parsley, basil, herbs, and what else do I have? Mint, to come inside. So last night I left them in the garage, and then I just brought them inside. They'll stay in for, I don't know, until tonight. Maybe I'll bring them out another few hours tonight, and then back in the garage for tonight, and then continue kind of like that, in and out a few times a day until I can keep them inside. Because I noticed some of the leaves are already starting to yellow, so it's a good sign to start bringing them in if you want to bring them in. And that's it for today's update. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, so I decided to do Another update. I transplanted some of the cauliflower from over there, that other plant, but I'm finding a lot of slugs in the soil here, so I don't know how successful they'll be. I cut down that kale quite a bit, and I don't know. I'm also such a beautiful day today. I don't want. I ripped off my jacket so fast. It's like 15 degrees, but the sun is so strong. It's nice and fresh. I wanted to point out that, well, obviously these didn't do very well. The slugs and other bugs, flies, and all, you name it, just had feasted on them all summer. The cauliflower there, that's why I like to spread them out, did better, and I've talked about that before. But I left the one bigger one in the middle of that cauliflower, and we'll see what happens. Looks like it could still. I don't think it could flower. I don't know. By the time it tries to flower, that's the problem. The pollinators might not be around, but we're gonna try. You never know. It's just the fun in gardening. I just want to note, like, this space that I left in between them. You know, even for the bigger, the big sized ones, that's about 1.5 feet, and it's a bit too much. So you definitely don't need to, like, I mean, especially with a one row that I did, you don't need to go that far apart. This one I haven't tied yet. It's just really weird. It's got long stems, so I'm like, what's the point in tying it? But yeah, if I did, it'll be that you'd see more better. It's about 1.5 feet, and it's just not necessarily even with the leaves down. Yeah, they would be touching, but you wouldn't do that, so that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I did a really nice flower and seed bouquet. It's inside, which maybe I'll show later, with these, some of these guys. Came out really beautiful with the yellow and orange marigold flowers that I have, which are which haven't been very nice colors all summer, but they are fall colors, so it makes for a nice nice bouquet.